OG Rose here, and today we're going to be talking about a paper called Monotheorism. The idea of this paper is that there's something in the nature of the brain and ourselves that wants to view the world through a single theory. There's a lot of talk in physics today about a theory of everything that combines together general relativity and quantum mechanics, and that it's a kind of dream to achieve that. I guess M theory is an approach that they're making at it, although there's a lot of critics of that. Well, there's something about our minds that naturally gravitates toward theories of everything. And it seems impossible, frankly, for us to equally see the world as a Christian and equally see the world as a Hindu, for example, or to equally see the world as a particle physicist and equally see it as a Virginia Woolf or a literary thinker or somebody like that. Or maybe we could say it seems impossible for me to see the world as I do and equally at the same time see it as Sarah down the street does. That all of us, our minds tend to come around toward a mono theory, a theory of everything, a single theory by which we understand the world, and we tend to stick with that. One, I guess it saves us time, it saves us energy, and we don't spend all our time thinking about every single possibility, which would make it very difficult to function. So there's some reasons we would do that. But of course, this is also problematic because if we have a monotheoristic nature, which of course is a play on monotheism, but if we have a monotheoristic nature, then that also means there's something about us that's probably very prone for fundamentalism, for extremism, for not being very empathetic, for not being intellectually humble, and this could have some consequences. So we need to learn how to be polytheistic, someone who can see the world through different mental models, different structures. If you ever get a chance to look up a good list of mental models, I highly suggest it. But we need to be someone who can really move between seeing the world as, say, a blue-collar worker who unloads trucks, and also someone who can see the world as an investment banker, someone who can see the world as a Christian, someone who can see it as an atheist and or a Hindu, and not just, say, put our shoes in another person's shoes, but put our feet in another person's feet, where we try to understand the world in terms of their assumptions, their paradigms, not simply see their paradigms through our own paradigms, which would be what the paper is going to call a cheap empathy. What we need to engage in is a costly empathy, which is a play on that Bonhoeffer distinction between cheap grace and costly grace from his book, The Cost of Discipleship, I think. So anyway, it's important, especially in pluralism, for us to develop polytheistic tendencies, but everything in our minds is going to want to be monotheistic. And also it is existentially uncomfortable to really try to view the world through another theory. So there's going to be that existential anxiety that keeps us from being a monotheist as well. But it's important to move in the direction of polytheism, especially if we're in our democratic systems, if we're going to keep democracy from blowing up on itself. Tribalism seems so prone today. Then polytheism is especially important. And also polytheism, I think, it helps us discover new ideas. It makes us more creative. It makes us come upon new innovations, because when you move between all these different lenses and you pay the price and face the existential anxiety that causes, then you're more creative, you're a more innovative thinker, and there's a lot of positive thoughts. It's not by chance that if you look at, say, the Bloomsburg group, that you have the authors, the economists, the great philosophers all coming together in one place. And if we move in the direction of polytheism, if we try to see the world not just as a novelist, but also as a scientist, if we try to see the world not just in terms of our religious preference, but also in the terms of another religious preference, and try to understand those frameworks, then we might have a better grasp on the world and understand why the world is the way it is. So anyway, this paper is called Monotheorism, and for more, please visit ogrose.com, and thank you for your time.